Transformers issue number 10. That's right, folks. The war of the Autobots and Decepticons has been going on for quite some time. And things are getting a little too intense in this book and a little too real. It's like, what do you do when your whole life is destruction? Do you have time for happiness? Can you find any happiness? Is there anything left for you? Crazy. Kind of scary in some intense ways. This book continues to surprise me by going in directions I don't think anybody's really expecting. It has so much to say about just like survival, which is like a weird thing to talk about in a book like this, because we're here for our big robots punching each other, not like the dread of what life is when your whole world is like thrown into chaos. But I guess that's life, isn't it? So this issue opens up with a little bit of the history of how Beachcomber came to be. So millions of years ago, there's a fight in Earth's orbit. Beachcomber is thrown out the side of the big ship, and he crashes onto the moon. And he's there for a while, and he just kind of sits and he stares up at Earth. And he's like, that's kind of a cool place. And he stays there for a long time, and then suddenly, randomly, he witnesses the moon landing. And he like sees the ship take off, and he like hitches a ride on the ship. And I love that like a lot of the expression that comes from Beachcomber, because he's got a big pair of sunglasses on, is us seeing the reflection of stuff in his sunglasses. So he just like hitches a ride to Earth, and he falls into the water, and he meets an octopus, and he meets a bunch of birds, and he's like, okay, this is where I'm going to stay now. And he stays there for a while. He sees the crashed ship that has his friends on it, and he's like, I could turn them back on, but at least this way there's some peace to them. And he's talking to Spike, because he saved Spike from Astro Train. He's like, I could turn them back on, but what's that going to do? It's just going to lead to more war, and I don't want to be a part of that. This way they could at least have some semblance of peace. A very terrifying way to describe peace is just like not letting your friends actually die, just stay in stasis. But that's Beachcomber in this book. He's taken to Earth. He loves the creatures. He loves like everything around him. He stays by the beach because he's a beachcomber. There's like squirrels and stuff that hang out on him. He just has a great time. He also just chained up Astro Chain and has him just chilling by the side of the beach. It's like, I'm going to kill you. He's like, yeah, sure. Or you could drink like this Energon I got and shut up for a minute. He's like, I will kill you slowly. It's like, okay, whatever. Look, it's not worth it to have this argument. This is how he learns that Shockwave has managed to make it to Earth. And Spike's like, you know Shockwave? Yeah, he's like the most ruthless Decepticon out there. He's crazy. Since Megatron's like missing in action, Shockwave's the one we gotta look out for. So then they start to see like a beam appear from the ground. I think it's where like the waters. Yeah, because they're by the waters. Like a beam appears from the waters. And then we cut back to the two boyfriends, Shockwave and Soundwave. And you see that Soundwave wants to repair his little doggy, or his cat, I guess. I guess Ravage is a cat. And Shockwave is like, what do you do? No, we're not going to repair your little pet. That's stupid. Why would we waste energy on that? Let's just put it in like the recycle bin, and then we'll get like the real shit started. So they walk outside of the ship. You can tell Soundwave's a little on edge about everything. And Shockwave just steps into the ocean like, look at this amazing shit. Look at this big whale. He doesn't say whale, but I'm saying whale, so you're aware of what we're talking about. Look at this whale. This thing's cool. This place is kind of cool. It's going to be so cool when we destroy it all for such a wonderful cause of destroying the Autobots and turning this place into our new home. That's going to be so cool. So they start to like fire up their big feeder, and when they turn it on, a lot of like the ocean life and creatures get like sucked into this destructive thing. And you just see that Shockwave is getting really excited about the destruction in the world. Terrifying, but realistic. Brutalistic character. This is how you do Shockwave. We then cut back to the Autobots, where they're trying to like harness a little bit more of their Energon, and that is when Optimus returns with Elita, and it is Ultra Magnus. I knew it was. It's kind of obvious, but RC is like, Ultra Magnus? What are you doing here? Cool. Everyone's just like, well, this is good, right? We did something good here. We have, like, Ratchet behind you? Wheeljack's asking, like, Ratchet's on the way? He's like, no, I literally watched him die, and then I left our other friends behind because I'm terrible. And then we got to see Jazz and Cliffjumper strung up in like the Decepticons' place, and you just see Shockwave's like, "Ooh, I can't wait to torture you. It's gonna be so much fun. You're Optimus. You're great Prime. He left you here to die. Not me. I'm gonna torture the hell out of you." And you see Thundercracker's kind of like, "This is weird," and Soundwave's like, "Yeah, just come with me. Let's try not to like mess with that system going on." And we just see like what the Decepticons are up to. Which is the one? I think it's Brawl. He's kind of like broken, and he's talking to another one of like the Constructicons, like, "You'll be okay. We'll get through this." Shockwave is trying just to like explain everything to Thundercracker, like, "It really sucks. Like, I want to save my cat, and I know you want to save your brother, but Shockwave is going to control everything. He is harsh. I'll say that. He is harsh, but he gets the job done." Just showing you that Soundwave is kind of mixed on the whole situation. And I love that. I love that. Thundercracker just like screams, like, "You kidding me? This is stupid. We're forced to retreat. This is all stupid. I hate everything here." He's like, "Yeah, I do too, but don't forget you're a soldier in an army, and I command that army, so shut up and get in line." It's so intense, and it's just like really good characteristics for all of them. Because you can just see the guys who are willing to fight for this in some disturbing ways, and the ones who are just like, "What are we even doing anymore?" Which is like really echoed in like the sequence with Optimus and Elita. Kind of like scorned lover things. She's like, "We could have used you. Like, not even now, like when Magnus and shit happened, but like eons ago, when everything was falling apart, we could have used you, but you had to do your, whatever you do, Optimus, you have to send your fight to space and have your friends die for it." And I really like that. This is an Optimus who's been hurt so many times, and he's just so broken by everything around him. I just kind of appreciate just the way this character, Elita, who you can put the history in there if you want, whatever. Scarlett Johansson will be playing her in a movie soon. There's nothing left for us to do but try to stop this world from being destroyed. Like, it's lost. It's over. And I think part of that's because you didn't really want to help us. So that's intense and crazy. But he's like, "I need your help to do this." And then we just see they turn on the big laser. The Decepticons turn on the big laser. They fire a beacon. It catches Cybertron. Cybertron is coming to Earth. And Beachcomber is just looking up at it like, "Oh man, this ain't gonna go well." And I'm like, this is really different than what I was expecting. This book just continues to be different than what I was expecting. I don't know what I expected when they introduced like Shockwave into the book and stuff like that. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have like, a little more intense fun. But then like, 5 pages dedicated to Beachcomber just like looking at Earth and being like, "I think this is peaceful. I don't want to disturb that." And it sucks that we're literally dragging a war to this nice place. Like, that is kind of a really, really unique angle for this book. They really appreciate. And then Soundwave just being like, "This is the reality we live in. It's brutal and disturbed, but that's just what we have to do right now." It's really interesting, really fascinating takes on these characters. So, Transformers issue number 10. I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.